Okay, and so, hey YouTube, it's Darkbyte here, and today we're going to be looking at some Java stuff, and we're going to be looking at, in particular, constructors. Now, we're going to open up our package again, and we're going to go into the not main class that we made last lesson. And as you can see, we've still got all these methods, but we're not going to need them for now. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a constructor. So how the hell do we create a constructor? And what the hell is a constructor? Okay, so you know how we did parameters before? Parameters are these things where you can put in values. Now you can do that with a class as well when you create a class. So you know when we created the not main, like not main nm is equal to new not main. Can you see we had these empty parameters here? In these parameters we can define stuff. We can define things, and in here we could put whatever we wanted, and every time it's created, then we can do something. So we can run a method when this is created. So on creation it'll run something. So if I create a not main now, then it would run something. But if I create a constructor, so that's what we're going to do now. So how do you create a constructor? So what we have to do is we have to go public not main, and then we put some empty parameters. Or we can fill these in later, but we're not going to fill them in for now. We're just going to look at empty ones, and basically you guys can do whatever you want. You can use it to most of the time it's used to either set values when it's created. So say you're creating a car, then you put in the speed and stuff, but for now we're just going to make it do something that you would never actually do. We're just going to make it print out the object of an object of not main has been created. Ooh, whoops, created. Alright, created. Alright then. So now when we do this, when we run this, let's press OK to save it, and as you can see it's just printing out an object of not main is created. So say we did this another time and we created another not main called nm2 is equal to new not main, and then we run this. An object of not main has been created twice. So now let's try it with something. So we're going to create a new class. So let's just do this for now. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a class called oh wait, what am I doing? Ooh, whoops. Alright, so I'm going to create a class of car. So I'm going to call this class car. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to make some constructors. Public car, and then I'm going to go int speed, because I want to know how fast it can go. Then I want to know what else? Alright, int weight, and then string name. And then I'm going to create this, and then this is how you would normally use a constructor. Alright then what we're going to do is we're going to create these values. So int speed and int weight. So int speed and weight, and then we're going to go string name. We're going to make these all private. So private int and private string name, because we're only going to use these values. Because you're meant to make, oh yeah, and it's common practice in Java to make these kind of variables like ints and strings all private, and to create getters and setters, which we're also going to be doing now. Alright, so how we do it so that only for one car, then we want to change the values. We would use the keyword in Java called this. So this is basically just referring to this class. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go this dot speed is equal to speed. So what we're saying is this class's speed variable is equal to the speed variable that we put in here. We're just going to do this for the rest of them. So this dot weight is equal to weight, and then this dot name is equal to name. And there we go. We've got this done, and now what we're going to do, do you see the pun there? Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to make some methods. So we're going to make public void drive. No, we're going to go a public void print. We're going to make public void. Oh no, we're going to make rev engine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go sys out, and we're just going to print out the, and then plus the car name, revved its engine. Alright, then what we're going to do is we're going to go public void accelerate. Public void accelerate. And then we're going to go the car is accelerating. Actually, we're going to go and make an if statement, and we're going to make a boolean just to make this more interesting. So private boolean is accelerating. So is accelerating. So here we go. Alright, so the car is accelerating. So what we're going to do is we're going to make an if statement here. So let's just indent this by pressing tab to make it go 4 spaces forwards. Alright, then so if is accelerating. If is accelerating, and then let's end this if statement, and then else. Now if isn't accelerating, and then is accelerating is equal to true, because we want to set that to true if it is accelerating. Because then obviously if we just told it to accelerate, then it's not. Then it's going to be accelerating after that. And else it's going to be. So if it's already accelerating, then we're going to tell it that the car is already accelerating. Alright then. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and we're going to make another method called public void decelerate. So say we want to actually try and stop the car, then we'd use decelerate. Then if is accelerating, so it's like the opposite of this basically. So you know what, we can actually just copy this and just change it up a bit. Just makes life a lot easier for us. Alright, so here we go. So if is accelerating is equal to false, the car is stopping we want to put here, or decelerating, but I think stopping is just a bit easier to type. So else the car is already stopped. So there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make the getters and setters. So this is the bit that you guys really want to see, because the getters and setters are very important. You're going to be using them a lot in Java. So how do we make a getter and how do we make a setter? Alright. So, you know what, let's just, the car is accelerating at, and we're just going to put the speed here just so we can use that variable. So speed. I don't even think we need the weight variable, but we're still going to keep it just so I can show you guys getters and setters a bit more. Actually, let's change this to weight. Let's change the weight variable to a float. If I can spell weight. I'm going to change this to a float as well. And then, you know, there we go. Alright, so just so I can show you some different getters and setters. So getters and setters are basically the same. So if we want to make a getter, we go public, and then we do the type that it is. So let's do it for speed first, since that's the first variable. So int, and then we do get speed, like that. And then you put some empty parameters there, because that's how you make a getter. Obviously you can fill this in because technically it's a method, but all it's going to do is it's just going to return the value. So it's just going to return speed. But you have to return this dot speed, otherwise it'll just return centralized speed value. So make sure you put the this there if it's a, you know, what's it called? If it's a dynamic variable. So public, and then you've got int get weight. Actually it'll be float because it's a float. Alright, so float get weight, and then we can return this dot weight. This dot weight, if I can spell. Can't spell. Alright, so here we go. And then we just got public string get name, and then we can go return this dot name. So we just created a fully functional car class. We might be working on this class a bit more next lesson, but for now we're just going to leave it at this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to create some cars. Alright, so we're going to go car, and we're going to call this one awesome car is equal to new car, and then it's going to give us an error because we haven't put any parameters and stuff. So its speed, we're going to have it going at 100. Then we're going to have its weight at 1000.1 kilograms, even though we didn't set what it was. I'm just gonna set it to 1000.1 F because it's a float. Remember. All right, then the name, we're gonna have the name as Awesome Car Bossmobile. Alright then. Alright, so here we go. Then we're gonna get the next one, and we're gonna call this car medium car is equal to new car. And we're gonna have this one, actually we're gonna have this one going at 300 since it's really awesome. Then we're gonna have this one going at 150. It's gonna weigh 1,500 kilos, and it's gonna be called Not As Awesome Car. And then for the last one, we're just gonna have Not Awesome Car is equal to new car. And then we're gonna make this, oh wait, 50 miles an hour? Oh, that kind of sucks. Alright, then we're gonna have this one going at 50 miles an hour max. It's gonna weigh 3,000, and it's gonna be called, wow, really sucky car. I really just typed wow, didn't I? Really sucky car. Really suck car. Oh wow. Alright, then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get each of them to rev. So awesome car dot rev engine, and then medium car dot rev engine, and then we're gonna get the not awesome car to rev its engine. Ooh, wait, forgot the parameters. Every time you call it, you have to not awesome car dot rev engine. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the awesome car to accelerate, and then we're gonna get the medium car to accelerate, and then we're gonna get the not awesome car to decelerate, just to check if that thing works. And then we're gonna get all the others to decelerate as well. Then we're gonna get awesome car dot decelerate, and then we're gonna get medium car dot decelerate, and then let's test this out and see what it does. Alright, so the awesome car Bossmobile revved its engine, the not as awesome car revved its engine, the really sucky car revved its engine, the car is accelerating at 350, 150, the car has already stopped, so obviously it can tell because of the simple boolean that we put in. The car has already stopped, the car is stopping, and the car is stopping. So there we go. With that, all we had to do, so we made one big class here, and all we had to do now was just call these things instead of having to write out bunches of code and do all these stuff. Oh yeah, and I forgot to show you guys setters as well. So setters is pretty simple too. So all we have to do is just make a public void, and we basically do it to the same format, but it's set speed, and inside the parameters we put in the type of variable it is and the name of the variable. And then what we do is we go this dot, and then the variable name is equal to the variable name. So this dot speed is equal to speed, and then we do like public void set weight. So public void set weight, and then we go float weight, if I can spell, and then we go this dot weight is equal to weight, and then we can do that with the last one as well. So public void set name string name, and then you go this dot name is equal to name. There we go. So we've done getters, setters, and we've done constructors, and we've done like some other stuff too. So we did quite a bit this lesson actually. Yeah. Alright, so thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you guys next time.